Welcome to the third and final review video again. Learning Set 2, Lessons 5 through 8, Earth Science 2. Again, success criteria meaning these are the things you need to know for the test in order to be successful. So on your review sheet it said be able to create a model showing the relationship between the intensity of sunlight, temperature, and the latitude of the Earth. So first of all, let's just draw a sun. And do you need to have a sun? No. But we want to show this light coming here. And I'll draw in some more of these in a bit. So when you draw your Earth, make sure when you draw it, and that's not really a good circle, but make sure you show the tilt. Make sure, and I would put a reference line in here, the equator, to show that the Earth is tilted. Now with this model, because of the way it is showing that if this is the northern hemisphere, and I'll put N here and south here, we know that it's going to be our winter because more intense sunlight is going to be coming here. So when you draw that in, you have to show that as this light comes in from the sun, that as you go further away from the equator, you're going to have less intensity. So maybe I would say less intensity, towards here. And maybe what I would do is I'd write in more intensity more towards the equators. In fact, it would be more intense. Probably right about here would be about the Tropic of Capricorn, which is 23.5 degrees south latitude, which would be where it'd be the most intense right now. And then maybe I'll even draw in an arrow and say it's less intense. So what I need to be able to do is be able to describe and show that when the Earth is tilted, and as you move away from the equator, there is more intense sunlight. Doesn't mean it's getting, and one of the things I often hear is, oh, it's getting indirect sunlight. Well, it's still getting direct sunlight. It's still coming directly from the sun. It's just, remember we talked about this earlier, that because of the angle, it's going to cover a larger area. So the same amount of light has to heat up a larger area. Now, some of the other questions on the test: be able to explain the patterns in the day, total hours of daylight for various locations, and be able to explain any patterns in the monthly daylight hours. These come from activities 7.1 and 7.2. So make sure you know those two lessons and can look at the chart and be able to do things, be able to describe them. Be able to explain the difference between weather and climate. Remember, weather is your day-to-day. We're having a rainy week, that's weather. We're having a cold winter, that's weather. And climate is long periods of time. So typically they'll say 30 years. So when we have one warm winter, we can't say, well, it's global warming because the climate's changing. Well, if it continues to get warm every winter and over 30 years, the temperature continues to increase, yes, then they could say the climate's changing. So weather is your day-to-day, your week-to-week, your month-to-month. And climate describes the weather over a long period of time. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm going to give you a little bonus. We've actually dropped this question from the test. Be able to explain how hail is created. So if you are watching this video, you have a bonus because now you don't have to study for that because you know it's not going to be on a test. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you ask them in class prior to the test. Thanks.